All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. So, or fake Thursday, depending upon how you would like to view it. So we'll go ahead and get into the announcements. So reminder, Friday is Family and Friends Day. So hopefully everyone can take advantage of that or find a time where you can. Next is highlights from Engineering Week in Review. So first one is engineering specific. There's a usage of GitLab of limiting features to just GitLab.com. There's a proposal to ban its usage and to change it to be more granular feature checking. And so there's more information about in that issue if you want to know what is being discussed and what proposals are on the table. Within GitLab Rails, there's been a CI job added to verify our classes are loaded correctly with the autoloader. And there are class names, file names that are following Rails, are being asked to strictly follow Rails conventions. Documentation on what those conventions are is available in that link from the Ruby on Rails org website. Next is about performance targets and endpoint response times. And these are in lab conditions. This is not production conditions. It's going down from 500 milliseconds to 200 milliseconds. There's more information about what they're doing as well as why is available in that link. And that's item C. And item D from the week in review was an announcement or a reminder about regulation fair disclosure or regulation FD training that we are all being asked to take. The training's been assigned to everyone. The ask is that it is completed by the end of July. And so there's a link available to the announcement as well as a link to the training. Estimated time investment is about 30 minutes. It is a series of videos followed by multiple choice questions. Fair warning that you cannot watch the videos on 1.5 speed. So once you're in, you're in for the whole thing.
I also left a tip on them because they unfortunately trick you. One of the slides looks clickable. It's not clickable. You have to click next and then get the radio buttons to click. So I put a hint below in the comments, but if you missed the comment and you're clicking something and nothing's happening, just hit the next button and then do the radio button.
Yeah. And finishing off the announcements, what we have every week, features and high priority bugs closed in the past 7 days. Here's our list. It's a pretty good list. And so if you want more information about what was closed and how it was closed, please click through for more information. Any questions on the announcements?
For the lab condition ones, is that in some way related to error budget or not related to error budget?
Error budget is related to production observations. These are lab conditions. So if they're doing benchmarking or cluster size recommendations for self-managed customers for given endpoints, I think this is what that plays
So
into.
it's a separate metric that, okay, thank you.
That's my understanding. Alrighty, Mark, floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about whether we have a testing group in production. And I can see that Olivier's already responded that we have a GitLab org/security products/tests. But it looks to me like that is specifically about projects built to test a specific analyzer. Whereas my use case is more about
Demos?
Demos. I want to flip a feature flag for the project in production and and not have to sort of give access to each person I would need to send the link to, but have it just available to everyone and secure.
There is a separate demos link. I will hunt my bookmarks folder for it. Never mind. You are faster. Thank you.
Great. And I can probably investigate this myself, but another use case is that, so quick question. Is that namespace under Ultimate, or do we have like a free tier version of this and a premium tier version of this?
That is under ultimate.
As far as I know, we don't have a freebie tier demos project set. So we may need to make one.
So I guess I was going to ask initially, what is this for? Because like I would just test things in my personal namespace, but if we actually rely on like using the groups, like the group dashboard or something like that, then it's probably worth having like a dedicated project. So unfortunately, I think that with certain use cases, we might just need to spin up a dedicated group.
Yes, perhaps. I mean, in reality, maybe just doing something in staging would be better, and just leaning on secure team test. Doing it in production is not always necessary. It's just something that came up recently regarding a flipping of feature flag and handing out to designers saying, you know, how does this look? And other people as well for their impressions. So I think staging maybe is the best place for it anyway.
Yeah, I hate to ask this question, but I'll ask anyway out of my own ignorance. Does anyone know when Will is back from paternity leave?
I would have to do math.
It's reasonably late enough in the morning. I think we're all caffeinated for that, but I won't put you on the spot.
August 10th is what his Slack profile says. No math needed.
Just clicking through to get the information. Okay, that would be the other person that I would ask if we need to do things along different license tiers, and if you're looking for end-to-end tests. And I know he's done a handoff and done a good job documenting all of these things. But that was my other instincts, is maybe look for if we needed something in production. But I think the alternative we have is probably more appropriate.
Also, breaking your use case in half, if we're testing a feature flag flip, I 100% agree that's got to be in staging and probably also production. So we probably need some kind of test project set up with the free tier if that's necessary. But for the showing feature to another team member, I just YOLO and throw it in my personal SaaS. Like I'll go to demos and I'll make a fork or a mirror. So.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It was just a pain recently because I had to actually present it to several people. So I had to add people and so on and so on. But if it was in a group with which already had everyone as members, yeah. Anyway, I think I have the answer. So I think Fabian has the next point, but he's not present.
Yeah, I'll cover for him. So there's been a fair amount of work that's going on in composition analysis, and I'm presuming composition analysis is larger than Fabian, and they're investigating integration tests, and it's based on RSpec. It is local to the analyzers themselves, as opposed to fully relying on the downstream integration tests that we have within that test group. And so if this is something that he's declaring ready enough for other groups to utilize, and so he's provided a mountain of links available to us for issues, MRs, documentation, CI jobs, how adding it to the QA process, and so forth. So this is a good thing, because permissions and downstream tests are a joy to maintain, and as with tongue firmly planted in cheek.
Basically, we voted on what was our least favorite thing and how do we make it less bad. And that's what came up.
All righty. That's the last item on the written agenda. Is there anything else we should talk about while we're all here?
I think everyone, in addition to the other training, should have gotten an email from security training. It looks like a fish, but it's not a fish. And unfortunately, you have to listen to the same person we had to listen to last year. So yeah. do that training by the due date.
Thank you. Are there other things we should talk about? All righty. Thanks everybody for your time and attention. Have a good rest of your week. Have a fantastic extended weekend. We'll go ahead and stop the recording so that we can proceed to coffee chat. So thank you. See ya.